What if I told you the secret to running a massive Bronze Age empire wasn't chariots or iron weapons, but passive-aggressive paperwork? The Hittites were an ancient superpower, but they were also history's first drama queens, and they wrote everything down. I'm talking petty squabbles, breakup letters to other kings, and even divine customer service requests sent directly to the gods. By the end of this video, you'll see why the Hittite kingdom was basically the office, but with more sandals and divine complaint forms. So who were these masters of bureaucratic whining? Around 4,000 years ago, the Hittites built a colossal empire in what is now modern-day Turkey. They were warriors, innovators, and meticulous record keepers. Seriously, these guys documented everything. We're not just talking about glorious victories or royal decrees. We're talking about the nitty-gritty, embarrassing, and downright hilarious details of everyday life, and they preserved it all on clay tablets. Why? Because when you have a complaint, you put it in writing and you file it away for eternity. But what happens when your complaints aren't for your neighbor, but for the actual gods? The Hittites weren't afraid to take their issues straight to the top. We have actual tablets where Hittite kings blame the weather god for a bad harvest. It reads like a performance review for a deity. They'd list out all the sacrifices and rituals they performed, basically saying, "We did our part. What's the deal with all this rain? We had an agreement." They even sent letters to their gods demanding to know why they were being ignored, asking if the gods were on vacation or just not in the mood to help. It's the ancient equivalent of sending a strongly worded email to customer support and CCing the CEO. This flair for the dramatic was not just reserved for the gods. It bled into their politics too. Hittite kings treated international relations like a high school drama. When a vassal king, basically a ruler who was supposed to be loyal to them, stepped out of line, they wouldn't just send an army. First, they'd send a letter. We have tablets that are essentially ancient breakup texts. They'd write things like, "You used to be loyal, but now you've changed. I saw you talking to the Egyptians." They would list every single thing the Hittite Empire had ever done for this vassal, every gift, every favor, before dramatically declaring their alliance over. It wasn't just a treaty. It was a relationship, and they had the receipts to prove it. But the absolute peak of Hittite drama has to be the case of the missing queen. A Hittite king's wife, a Babylonian princess, was traveling to the Hittite capital to get married, but she died on the way. The Hittite king was devastated and immediately wrote to the king of Egypt, who was an ally at the time. The letter wasn't just a notification, it was an accusation. He basically asks, "Did you have something to do with this? Because it's really suspicious." The Egyptian pharaoh had to write back a very awkward letter saying, "Whoa, hold on, it wasn't me. I'm just as upset as you are." It's a diplomatic incident fueled by pure, unadulterated suspicion and gossip, all preserved forever on a clay tablet. The Hittites proved that no matter the era, some things never change. Bureaucracy is annoying. The weather is someone else's fault. And the best way to deal with your problems is to write them all down for future generations to laugh at.